Hello and welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, my whips, some yarn acquisitions and some more knitting things. My name is Ellie, I'm from Austria and this is episode number 39. Hello, I am so glad you could join me once again. I am very sorry, I sound really nasal. It's just because I am still a little bit sick. I got sick over the weekend and now it's still there. So it's all up here. So I am okay. I just have to take it a little bit easier today with my voice. And my nose is obviously blocked. That's why I sound like SpongeBob. Anyways, I hope you are doing well and you are not under the weather. I feel like everyone is sick at the moment. I know my family members were sick over the last few weeks and everyone at work is sniffling about or sick at home. So I know it is going around a little bit, so I hope that you are not one of those people as well. I thought I just scraped by and managed to avoid it. But no, as it turns out, I couldn't. Anyways, I'm wearing my tuku, which I finished last time, but last time it was still too wet for me to wear and even hold up properly. So now that it's finally dry, I can wear it and show you, and I think it looks really good. I am really happy with the result. You have this gorgeous high neck. And because it's around yoke, I mentioned that last time, the yoke is fairly deep. For me, that is completely my fault because I used the wrong needle size. And the sleeve length is perfect. I also really like the long cuff that I have here. And the brown and the white just go together so well. I have it hip length at the moment. I'm trying to get up and show you. I have it hip length at the moment, but because of the yoke, because it's so deep, when I lift my arm, it kind of goes up at the same time. But I think it still looks really good. I mean, I like my sweaters to be hip length generally anyways, so I'm really happy with the result, and I think any longer would have been a bit of an awkward length for me. I mentioned last time that there are no short rows in this piece, and so far I've not really had that many troubles. It does, pardon me, it does come up higher here a little bit when you're wearing it, so I'm sure that short rows would fix it, but because it is meant to be on the oversized side, I think it's actually fine without them. So that is a little bit about it from like last episode's kind of a catch up, or like additional information which I just couldn't really do last time. Today I have my big mug out with some Yorkshire tea. I know I will need it because I can already feel my voice going just a tiny bit, also because I've not talked to anyone yet today, so you're the first ones that I talk to, at least the camera, and then you will listen to it. Right, let's put this somewhere safe-ish. I have no finished objects, and I have 3 whips that I'm currently working on. Both of those 2 big ones you already know, and then I have 1 new one. So the first one is the Dornie sweater by Clow, and it looks really good. This is what it looks like, and this is what I have so far. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear the lorries outside. I live on the opposite side of a factory, so because it's a weekday, every lorryman decides to come at the same time and honk and just be loud, so excuse that. this is what it looks like. I have a split for sleeves finally, and I feel like I made a good chunk of the body already. I have to try it on, to be honest, but it feels incredible. So I'm making a size 3, and I mentioned last time that there was a mistake in the pattern before you join the fronts so you can knit in the round. If you want more information, either check out my Ravelry page or my last episode where I talk about that more in depth. But so far there so far there haven't been any further issues, which is great news. And this piece is just such a joy to knit on. You knit on 4.5mm needles, which makes it feel like it goes by a lot faster. And the twists of the cables, even though you have a lot of twists, they're actually okay. I like to watch like some kind of video, some podcast, some TV program, whatever on the side, so you don't really realize how fast it goes by, which is a bonus for me. The yarn that I'm using is fantastic. I think the reason why this feels so soft and squishy is purely because of the yarn. Also, I have it in my Petite knit bag, and I squished all of the yarn that I need in here, so I have it all at once, and it kind of looks a bit funny. Anyways, I am using Marble by World of Wool, and this is a DK weight, 80% merino wool and 20% silk. And I think it's purely because of this yarn which makes the piece so lovely to work on. This is the colour Sandalwood, and you get 110 meters in this 50-gram ball. It is absolutely gorgeous. You do have some like white flecks, and you see them in the sweater as well. I mean, I could pick them out, but at the same time I'm not too bothered by them. So it feels a little bit tweedy at some points, because it's also not one continuous colour. I think it's because of the silk, which makes it a little bit fluffier as well and a little bit whiter. I would definitely buy this yarn again because it is incredibly soft against my skin, and because I'm sensitive around my neck, I left out the mohair for the collar. So this collar is purely in the merino silk wool, and I don't think it is that obvious color wise. Now the sun is out as well, so all of the colors are just everywhere, but you have to celebrate that the sun is out because the sun is not really out during winter. Anyways, I don't think, I mean obviously the fluff is missing, yes, but apart from that I think colour wise it's basically the same, maybe a little bit less muted, but to be honest I'd rather have that than have a really itchy collar. And what I did is I made the Moby sweater, and I really liked the folded over collar that she has in that pattern, obviously from Petite knit. So I used the same technique on this collar as well because it gives me the best fold, and I also think it is the neatest fold of all of the sweaters I have made with a folded over collar that you then knit down, which looks like this on the inside. It is a little bit confusing with this piece where the front and the back is, because both are the same. There are no, like, I mean they're not the same because obviously the back is a little bit longer because you have additional rows before you join in the front, but it is really difficult to tell, so I have to put some kind of string in it or like a tag. I think this is the back, I could be wrong because the collar is a little bit lower, I don't know. But this has been such a joy to knit on. I am holding it with my favourite Silk Mohair Filcolana Tilia in the colour 363, which is just a caramelly brown, which goes really well together with this one. So I'm really happy with the colour choice as well. So far, like I said, I had no further issues. The only thing that is different from what I understood of the pattern is the sides. So I kind of wish that the cable motif would go all around the body, which it doesn't. On the sides you have this rib pattern here. And I mean, I know that there are not enough stitches for the full repeat to be there, but I feel like this issue could have been resolved a little bit better. I know that she probably also did this rib pattern because you have it on the sleeves and you need to decrease the sleeves, and I remember her mentioning it in one of her podcast episodes that she's not sure yet how she's going to do that. So I understand why it is there. I just kind of wish that it wasn't. Also, what I forgot to say about the rib on the side, I could not figure out the sides to make them even with the pattern. For me, it just didn't make any sense because you have to remove, or you have to move the beginning of round marker, and when you get to the other side of the body, you have a different repeat. Maybe I just didn't read it properly, maybe I just made a mistake, but I couldn't figure it out, so I read back and then I just did the same repeat that you had at the beginning, which is not what the pattern recommended to do. But I really wanted it to be even on both sides. At the end, I don't think it really matters because no one's going to look at one side and then go to the other and then look at the other side to check if it's symmetrical. But that's just something that I had a little bit of troubles with. I don't know if I'm the only one, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So this is super fast. This is a really nice evening project by the TV, also because of the bigger needles, because my next project is on tiny needles, so it's good to have some variety. And again, because of the fabric, it is such a joy to knit on, and I can't wait to finish this and finally wear it. I've not even tried it on yet because I kind of want to have the finished garment and then see how it all looks like together. Don't know if that's just plain stupid and naive or clever, I guess, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Are you guys in a cabling mood? I would like to know that, because I certainly am, but I feel like the Dornie sweater and the next project really hit the spot with those cravings. I do plan on making another one, which is a bit more complicated, but yeah, let me know if you also feel like cable things, or if you say it's enough with all of those really thick winter knits. I am ready for spring, because I'm certainly not. So the next project, like I just said, is also a cable knit, and this is the Colette sweater by a Pullover by Sari Nordlund, maybe Pullover. This is what it looks like. It looks really good. This is the back. Last time I think I just joined in the round. Since then I have finished another full repeat. That is where we are, and I only have one more to go and then I can bind off, which makes me really happy because you work on 3.5mm needles, which feels minuscule at the moment compared to the Dornie, so it's really nice to have a smaller project and a bigger one at the same time. I thought by now I would have a collar to really have the piece look nice, but obviously I didn't manage that. Hopefully by next time I will. And it obviously is very scrunched up because of the cables, but my god, just look at this texture. It makes me so happy. I don't know what it is. So this is size 1. But you have quite a lot of positive ease. It's going to be interesting to see how much ease I will actually have, because I know it will stretch out with blocking. It is a drop shoulder construction, so once I stretch it out, it maybe is by my shoulders down here. Here's the tip of my shoulder, so it's not going to be a super massive drop. But then again, I don't know how this yarn reacts. This is the first time I'm using this yarn. It is a Bûches lambswool in, what was it, grey beige. That's it, grey beige, which is a fingering weight 100% lambswool yarn, and I'm holding it with the Silk Mohair. I of course don't have the label with me once again, but it is the same color. It's also grey beige, so I'm holding these two together, and so far it works out really nicely. It is not as soft as the Filcolana Tilia and the other yarn. It is a little bit rougher, but still very soft. I mean, when you say rough in these kind of terms, you don't actually mean like this kind of rough, like wool in its roughness, 100% wool. But I am very interested to see how this not only blocks but also softens during the first block and then also through wear. I pray that this does not itch my neck because I'm going to be very sad if that is the case, because this has actually ruined sweaters for me that I made in the past, because the mohair itched so much that I could not wear the piece. Hopefully that's not going to be the case with this one. I will again not have the mohair in the collar either, just to also minimize the, what's the word, the potential of being non-wearable for me. The pattern is really clear. You have all of the charts in the actual pattern itself, which I very much appreciate, because I have a hard time having the chart on one side and then the instructions on the other, and you have to flip back and forth. I like to have it all in one document, which is great for this one, and the repeat is really fun as well. You do have pearls in between the cables in between, and I'm trying to not have the last stitch of the cable and before the first pearl stitch stretch out too much. It is by doing the pearl in a different way, so you're actually twisting the stitch, because a pearl stitch actually needs more yarn than a knit stitch. So I have achieved that fairly well on the first ones. I don't feel like there are any obvious ones, but then on the second full repeat you have these long rows. Even though I did the same thing, I think I just have to be more careful and hope that with blocking it doesn't become too obvious when you stretch out the piece. Let's get it. Let's try and do this. You can see it's just this one column that is always stretched out a little bit too much just before the pearl. This is something I've struggled with from the very beginning. That is why I don't like to make like full-on ribbed sweaters or t-shirts because of the stretched out stage, because it just doesn't look good. But I'm trying to fix it. I don't know if I will actually succeed in it, but I'm trying at least. Really happy with it as well so far. There have been no issues, no mistakes. I really like Sari Nordlund's patterns. I've made a few of her designs. I have many of her patterns as well in my library. And they're always very clear, they're always very thorough as well, and in one place, which, like I said before, to me is really nice. And they're also charted, pretty much all of them. I don't think I've ever had a pattern that wasn't charted, and I like to work off charts, so that is just another bonus for me. I don't think there's anything else I can say so far with this piece. Like I said, the collar is going to be the next one, the next big step after I finish with maybe this ball of yarn or the other repeat. I'm on my, I think my second one. Do I have 3 or 4? I can't even remember how many of these I've got. It should be enough according to the pattern. I hope that's going to be the case. I like to do the sleeves first because I'd rather have a shorter body than the sleeves too short. So we'll see how far I get with this, and then start on the first sleeve, which should be fairly fast because it's a small circumference, which means less cables and quicker results. And this lives in a new project bag that I made a few days ago, and I'm really happy with it. This is what it looks like. I've made the base not as wide as it should have been. That was a fault on my part because of the height, but it looks really cute. I found this fabric in like a random fabric store, or not a fabric store, it was like a trinket store, and I put my Cambridge bicycle man on here, my Oxford pin, and those 2 pins that I also got from Oxford when I was there in November. So that's really nice because I'm trying to make all of the project bags that I need so I can put on all of my pins from my travel. It's also a good size. It's, like I said, the base is not as wide as I wanted it to be. Again, that is completely my fault. I don't have a pattern for it. This is just what I found out that I like over the years, I guess. I mean, I've not been making that many project bags, but I write down what I like and what I don't like and what can be improved. And I also have these really nice strings, which are a bit like, they're not robes, but they're more like shoelaces. They're thick woven ones, and they're a lot nicer to pull than some of the other ones that I have. Enough of that project bag. I have made another project bag, and this is fabric from Cambridge, and I finally sewed it up. I also had to wait for my sewing machine to come back because it needed a service. Anyways, I finally managed it. It is fairly wonky, I have to say. I don't know what happened, but at the end I just couldn't be bothered anymore to try and fix it. So I thought, oh, sod it, I will just sew it up because it's going to be a project bag for me anyways. No one else is going to use it, and I'm not gonna give it away or sell it. It looks really cute. This is the fabric I got from a shop in Cambridge. It was called Sew and Knit, I think, and it has these really gorgeous bees on it. I thought that was so cute. So I again put some like quilting stripes down the front, and here I have because this fabric is from Cambridge, I have those two Cambridge pins, the Harry Potter 9 3/4 platform pin and the Phoenix. And I think the colours go really well together because the bees are a nice orange slash brownie colour. I think this looks so good as well with the, it's not bronze, but like this kind of zipper. So yeah, really happy with this. As you can see, it is not straight, it goes like, it's narrower up here and it's wider at the base, especially on this side. But like I said, at that point I just wanted the bag to be finished and not faff around with it anymore. Anyways, in here I have a new project, and these are some penny gloves. I wanted to make some for a friend of mine because it is cold outside, or at least it was cold outside until a few days ago. And I started these knit up really fast. Last time I said I don't want to make them just yet, but I feel like with those two big projects I really crave something small, something that I could maybe take with me on the train or wherever I am going. And I'm almost done with the first cuff and can start on the thumb hole. I am using Ferner Wolle Merino 160. I showed this last time. This is colour 404. It's a really nice dark charcoal colour. This is 100% superwash wool, and this is fingering weight yarn as far as I know. It is fairly springy, and I tried holding it double because that was the plan, to hold the yarn double, because you need something like a sport weight, but it was just way too thick. So I went through my stash and I found this mohair that I used a long time ago and I don't use anymore, at least not for sweaters. This is Drops Kid Silk Mohair. I can't tell you the colour because it's been, I think, 2 years now since I used this last. I'm sure you can find it on my Ravelry page. I knit a sweater with this and I can't wear the sweater because this is just way too itchy for me. But I found out that paired with this yarn it actually becomes fairly soft, and on the hands, or on the wrist should I say for now, it's not itchy at all. So I might make a pair for myself as well, because now, since I'm not holding this yarn double anymore, I have a whole nother ball which would just be lying around, so I could make myself a pair as well. This is what I have so far, really nice. And let's try and not lose any stitches. This is a fairly tight gauge. I'm not sure if it's because I'm working on small circular needles or what, but it's nice and tight, which I feel like would be good for gloves because it is windy as heck here, so you want something for your hands to be warm. Anyway, so that was my last whip. I really don't think there's anything else to say. The penny gloves by Petite knit, they come in one size, very standard, has been a huge what's it called? It has been a very successful pattern in the past. I know a lot of people made it last year, especially for gift knits, so presents over Christmas or birthdays or whatever. And I can only agree with that. This has taken me, I don't know, half an hour maybe, really not that long. So I'm going on the train today, so I will take these with me and potentially can finish the whole pair in one train ride. We'll see. Right, that lives in this project bag for now, and those were all of my whips at the moment. I know I don't have that many at the moment, like on the go, but I feel like those two, especially the big ones, are really intense, so I do need to focus on it, and I don't want to start another sweater and having to divide my attention over too many projects. So I'm really happy with what I have on my nails right now. I did want to make another small thing. Last time I showed you I made the I made the Sophie scarf. I've been wearing it and it's been so nice. I think it looks really cute, and it's the perfect scarf for me, where it's not too bulky under my coat but it's nice and warm around the neck. It's a really great pattern. I wanted to start the Sophie shawl, but when I looked at the pattern again, I realized that you need a different yarn thickness, which for some reason just didn't even cross my mind when I bought this yarn. I really like this yarn. It is Merino yarn, and I bought it from my ivory room in London, and I bought the same yarn in a different colour. This is the colour Brownie. You get 175 meters, and this is a fingering weight. Oh no, sorry, it's a sport weight yarn. In the pattern though, for the Sophie shawl, you need a stitch gauge of 17 stitches. This has got 24. So it's too thin for the Sophie shawl, which is a real shame. I don't know why I didn't think about this. Meterage wise, I have enough, but obviously the thickness isn't there. So because I don't want to pair any mohair with this, because it's going to be on my neck, I don't really know what to do. Maybe you have a suggestion of what I could do. I was thinking of just starting the Sophie shawl anyways and just knitting it until I finish the first ball of yarn and then start with the second one, because I only have 2 balls of this, and to be honest I don't know where else I can get it, because it's kind of difficult to get this yarn in Austria at least. So if you have any suggestions what I could do, please let me know. I was thinking of holding it with another yarn as well, another like fingering weight yarn. But then again, this is such a nice colour that I don't think I will find an exact match, and I don't want to marl it. So what are my options? There are none really. I mean, I guess I could make just 3 Sophie scarves, but then again, what's the point? I wanted a shawl in this. So I'm a bit bummed with this realisation, but we will conquer and succeed eventually when I figure out what to do. Maybe you have an idea, or you have been in this situation as well. I mean, I can always fudge my own pattern now that I have the Sophie scarf, and just, I don't know, increase a lot quicker so you get the width. But then again, it also would be awkward to just have like this big of a shawl but this wide. I don't know. Anyways, enough about this. I have no yarn acquisitions because I've been very good and not bought any yarn. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. This is the problem when you have like a stuffy nose, is you constantly have to sneeze. Anyways, like I said, I don't have any yarn acquisitions today. I don't plan on buying yarn super soon because I'm really happy with the stash that I have, and I'm so excited to work through it and start all of these projects that I had my eye on for a really long time. The only thing that I will say is the projects that I want to start, they do require mohair. but because I am currently working on 2 projects that already have mohair in it, and I like the garments that have none in it, so no mohair in it, I'm a bit on a, not a crossroad, but it is a bit of a dilemma of mine, because I don't want to spend money at the moment, but at the same time, if I want to make this project, I have to get the mohair. So this is just a lot to think about. I still have some time because those 2 projects need to be finished first, or at least at a good state where I feel comfortable to start a different project. And yeah. Right, my nose is running, my throat is a little bit sore, so I think it is a good time to end this episode here. It might have been a little bit of a shorter episode, to be honest. I have no idea. I can't really guess these kind of things beforehand, because I don't know how much I will cut out. Anyways, I hope you had a lovely time with me. I hope you had lots of knitting time, made some good progress on whatever you've been knitting on. Also, hope you're not sick like me. If you are, get better soon. And I'm very excited for our next week's video. Also check out my last week's video where I talked about my knitting goals for this year. And I'm gonna see you either next week or in 2 weeks for another podcast episode. Have a good day, weekend, whenever you're gonna watch this, and happy knitting. Bye!